Hello and welcome to another Mountain View Softwash video. I'm Jake Guerin, owner-operator of Mountain View Softwash here in northern Colorado. And today it's nice and chilly. We've got a little bit of washing to do. Now, normally you'd think we're going to be washing the house, but today's video we're actually going to do something that we kind of stumbled into as far as the niche goes. And it's actually pretty fun, pretty easy process. We've got it dialed in pretty good, but today we're washing basements, as you can tell from the thumbnail. And this is new construction. So we've got a number of homes that we've already washed. I think we've pretty much taken care of all these homes on this street. We're gonna deal with this one today that they're currently painting on. So just wanted to do a really quick video, kind of show you that process and what we go through to wash out these basements. So without further ado, I'm gonna work my way down to the basement, show you what we're dealing with here. Before we head down there, I just wanted to show you our setup here. We have our lines already flaked out. They're currently painting on this house here, so I wasn't able to access the water line on that, so I just went next door. Same builder, just gonna tap their water line, which is this line right here. Got our lines flaked out. We're using our soap wand today and our rinse wand, and I'm just feeding them down here into the basement. And just as you're curious what settings we're using, we're gonna go with a pretty mild blend. One of the unique things about our process, obviously, if you've been watching our channels, is that with our use of sodium hypochlorite, TerraWash, and green wash, we can effectively clean, sanitize, and disinfect the areas. So today we're going to use a little bit of TerraWash, a little bit of green wash, and obviously our go-to for dirt, grime, and in this case we do have some drywall chalk and mud that's caked on the floor. This one's not too bad, but TerraWash is a great emulsifier for that. So everything's set up, we got pressure, everything's pressurized, we got good pressure on our lines, and we're gonna go pull these lines in the house and start the cleaning process here, and I'll show you that. Okay, just entering the house here, and as you can see, we're kind of in still the early stages, getting close to finalizing stage, but it's still pretty dirty here in the main floor. We don't even have railing up yet on the stairs, but we're gonna work our way down to the basement here. And the cool thing about our process using the chemicals that I showed you is that any residual water that's left here in this basement is pretty much killed of any bacteria, anything that can cause growth. Our washouts are pretty thorough. This particular builder decided to use us because, for one, they had a couple issues with a lot of water being used with normal pressure washer and a surface cleaner, which does a really good job, but you know, they're pushing 8 to 10 gallons per minute, where we're 1/3 of that. So we can effectively clean this area with a lot less water. And like I said, the best thing is sanitize and disinfect the water as well in the area. So any residual water that gets underneath the boards and stuff like that, it's not gonna have any kind of mold growth or algae growth, which that builder was really happy about that. Now, in the past, when they've had insulation on these walls, they've pressure washed them. The water got into the installation, kind of worked its way up, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of water, and especially in the summer times, hot days, they were just hotbeds for mold growth and algae growth, and they have to come in sometimes and take out that installation and replace it. So the fact that we kill all the bacteria and stuff in the water before we actually spray it just eliminates any kind of growth that's going to go on. So that's kind of a side benefit of our soft washing process. This floor is not too bad. I've done a couple houses where there was just globs and globs and globs of drywall mud from they were drywalling, and my initial kind of shock factor was I wasn't too sure if we're going to be able to move that mud as quickly as I thought we would. But we put our TerraWash on there. We literally let that thing sit for about a minute, and it just eats up that mud. And we just use a nice bristle brush. I'll show you what I've been using here. This little guy here from Home Depot. Little bristle brush. I go through these pretty quickly. I've got 4 extra spares in the truck. But it does really good brushing up that mud and getting that off the concrete. Like I said, fortunately, I don't know if they came and scraped this or what, but this one looks pretty good. In fact, I'm not seeing much at all. There's a little bit here, and this will come up pretty quickly. The stuff I was dealing with before was pretty big globs, and I've seen it about, you know, 1/4 inch thick at times, and that takes a little bit of time. But again, that Terra Wash just really knocks it out. So you can see it's got a nice fine layer of dirt on here. I've already gone through and swept it as best I can, but the more you sweep, the more dirt gets kicked up. And again, that's why I kind of like our process, because once I throw my chemicals down, no dirt's going to get kicked up, and then we just do a nice rinse. We're going to push everything. We'll work our way around different sections here and push everything to the floor drain here and let that drain out. Anyways, I'm going to get a tripod set up here, and we'll get started. I'll probably work this area last. So we'll use kind of this section here. I'll finish this last, but I'm going to start back here and kind of work my way around these windows, pushing everything in this direction, managing the water so it's not, you know, overly saturating anything. This area obviously is of concern because it's already carpeted. I'm gonna be very mindful about the amount of water I get on this section here. Fortunately, I don't need a lot, just enough to kind of move things along, and then I'll work my way to the drain. This is a very interesting thing, not something that's normal for soft washing. To be quite frank and honest, I never thought that I would be washing out basements, but when I was approached, I was like, you know, I never thought about it, but yeah, we sure can. You know, our process is to remove dirt, grime, and mold, algae, and all that stuff. This is no different. You know, it's concrete sealed. Should be able to navigate around pretty easily without any damage to the concrete or foundation. So again, we use 1/3 of the water, and I think that's why this particular builder really likes our process. They're paying us a little bit more than they would a traditional like pressure washer come in here. You know, I think they're paying them around $200 to wash this basement out. We're about double that. And it'll probably take me about an hour and a half to get this going. So I'm gonna set the tripod up, and I'm not gonna talk a whole lot. I'm just gonna show you kind of our application process, and then just show you the rinse out as well. Okay, so you saw my application's pretty light. Got our soaps down. I'm gonna let it dwell for about 30-40 seconds here. And just from experience, I like to work in 3 square sections as much as possible, sometimes 4, but I don't want to do the whole thing, because what I've found is that this area, if I were to spray the whole thing and start brushing from over here, by the time I get over here, it's dry anyway. So this is sufficient enough. So I'm gonna start just kind of brushing everything down. If I need a little bit more surfactant, I will go ahead and spray some more on there, but I'm just gonna start scrubbing this thing down now. Okay, so we're on the tail end of this basement washout. The fun and interesting part about this one, it took me a little bit longer, and I'm still working on it, is that the drain over here, which you would think would be on the lowest part, or would have some deviation to it to allow the water to run into it, is actually on the highest part. So all the water is running away from the drain, which makes sense, right? That's what you want a drain for, is to not have water removed. So I'm kind of using my hoses right now to kind of contain the water, and I'm just kind of pushing it all towards the drain. But once we get that figured out and get that final lake of water going, we'll be able to finalize this deal. Alrighty, all wrapped up on this basement wash. Something new and unique to our business, but we'll take it. This one took a lot longer than normal. I've been able to do these in an hour and a half or so, but with the drain issues that we had here, I was doing more pushing water around more than anything, and this will dry out pretty quickly. I just wrapped this up, so. But overall, it came out really good. Got all the dirt, got all the drywall dust and putty off the floor, so. Pretty quick and simple, nothing sexy or fancy, just getting her done. So thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. I love hearing your guys' comments, and anything I can do to help you out, just please let me know. Alrighty, take care, guys.